So, hello and welcome to today's live broadcast. I'm here with Linda Kubota Bird. Hi, welcome, Linda.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here and sharing your wisdom and your expertise of what's happening in the sky this year with everyone.
I'm happy to.
Yeah. So, Alcazar has said that 2020 has a lot of potentials to be actually like a very intense year. Politically, environmentally, things are getting shaken up. And he's invited each one of us to really focus on not reacting, but instead focusing on elevating our vibration and knowing that there's always more happening for the light than for the darkness. And the big invitation is to focus on gratitude, to like stop any like downward spiral momentum. And also he said that the energy of the vibration of gratitude has the ability to actually lift us up, and it puts us in a receptive mode to our superconsciousness. So Linda and I, we wanted to start by inviting everyone. Hi, everybody. By inviting us all to actually focus on gratitude. So, Linda has been a fan of gratitude for quite some time. Your email address actually has full of gratitude in it.
Right. It's I think the key to really changing your outlook on life, because there's so much to be grateful for, no matter what's going on.
Yeah, and the beauty is when you start to kind of like train yourself to look for things to be grateful for, you find a lot of things to be grateful for.
Exactly.
So yeah, we invite everyone who's listening. I think we're probably live on Facebook and YouTube as well as in this webinar. So just to type into the chat and let us know what you're grateful for, but also just like hone in your focus on that gratitude, and we'll just take a moment to connect to the heart and slowing down. And when we slow down, we can listen, we can be more receptive. So feeling the energy of your heart and focusing on that person, place, thing, occurrence, life, whatever it is that makes you feel gratitude. And see if you can go beyond just thinking about it into actually feeling the energy, the vibration of gratitude. And inviting your heart center to actually soak up that energy. And when you feel it in your heart, you can actually invite your heart to amplify it and broadcast it to every cell of your body. So just see if you can emanate gratitude. And for some people, this is easier than others. We just had our New Year's intensive, and we focused in on what Alcazar calls deep gratitude. And there was a moment when we were just like coming back from a break and just starting to like practice the heart coherence and focusing on gratitude. And Prageet was naming a few things that he was grateful for, and inviting everyone else to hone in and focus in on one thing at a time and feel the gratitude for that thing. And all of a sudden, it was like there was gratitude in the field. It was the first time I felt something like that. And then Alcazar brought in this meditation and really like created this everyone pouring their gratitude into the Stargate, creating a bubble. And that bubble was projected actually into the gathering in Slovenia. So we're going to be receiving a lot of energy. But the reason for doing this is because it's an acceleration on our life's path. And this is what Alcazar is saying about 2020 is it is an acceleration year. Things are going to happen really fast. And there's going to be potentially some chaos in the world. And I know, like Linda, we spoke about what's happening astrologically. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because we planned to do this before Alcazar even gave us this channeling, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I think what we're doing today is really important, not only for ourselves, but also for our contribution to what will happen, because we're creating it in the moment. So astrologically, we look at what's gone on cyclically when this happened, when we were having this same alignment of planets before. And some hard things happened. I mean, it was a chaotic time because change can come through chaos. And so the exciting thing about where we are now in the levels of consciousness and our evolution is that we can create through, as we are probably each of us have experiences where we create our own reality by just our thoughts. And now, because of the acceleration and the quantum field, our awareness of the quantum field, that when we together hold the field for the highest good, and because we don't, instead of being specific this year, we're being asked to be more what the outcome would look like or how we feel as to what's going to happen. Because when we set New Year's intentions, we can only create from the level that we're aware of. Whereas now, because we are creating, we've always had the connection to the unseen realm, as we all know. But to invite in the unseen realm to support us in the highest good for humanity. And so astrologically, we look at what's going on with the planets, and we'll talk more specifically in a second about that. But yes, it can be chaotic. And as far as because I tend to be optimistic, I think that we can get the lesson through an easier way if all of us focus in on getting the message. Because the message is about change. It's about moving from the head to the heart. It's about the survival mentality to the collective mentality, the unity.
Yeah.
And so when we can go to that place, it's just, it's exciting because we're capable of doing this now.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting because I was just listening to an audiobook called Spirit Hacking by Shaman Durek. And he's like a very connected, talented shaman. But like in the way that these things happen, it was the perfect message for me to hear in that moment. And he was saying, in shamanism, everything is medicine. A snake bites you, you need snake medicine. Your basement floods, you need water medicine.
Right.
And so it's like the message that I think that I feel from Alcazar is very much that like what's happening in the world is going to scare us maybe, but he's not saying this to scare us.
Right.
He's saying it so that we can hone in our determination to hold a vision, like you're saying, a vision of how, like, as the old structures crumble, new ones can emerge. And so it's like, how is this medicine for the planet? And like, I just clicked into this understanding that like, of course the planet needs like this like deep medicine, you know, and we see in so many reflections, like people starting to become more conscious and more awake.
Exactly. And I think that's the work of the Stargate, and that's the work of so many different things. I think all of us probably get messages from a lot of different, like shamans and other wise ones, and everybody's saying pretty much the same thing, you know. And I think the piece that I got, I just was reading something from Carolyn Meese, and she was talking about truth and how truth is light. And how we had talked about, when we were talking about what we wanted to do with this webinar, we were talking about helping people to get to their authentic selves and to come from a place of truth as opposed to a place of conditioning or how we're supposed to be. I think it was her article that talked about, she used the term samified. And I thought that was just that's a great term because most of us have been taught to fit in, to kind of try to be like everybody else so that nobody talked bad about us. You know, we're really concerned about external, what people were saying and how we're being seen. And we're really being taught now to become more self-referenced and come from our own inner knowing, because that's where we connect to our higher self, right? Yeah. So it's cool that we're seeing the message from a lot of different places, and astrologically, you get the what actually is going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Energetically,
Yeah, and so we're going to get into the specifics of the astrology in a moment. We're also, just for everyone to know, we're going to share an energy transmission, and so we're going to actually be harmonizing with the planets. So, what a gift to the Stargate community! And thank you for bringing this, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and this is Alcazar. We just released a channeling that Alcazar gave on New Year's Eve day, and it's deep. Like, it's a really deep channeling, and we'll post it at the end of this webinar too, so if anyone missed it, you can listen and see what Alcazar was saying. But he's really inviting us. He says, we invite you to be selfish this year, to focus on self. And what he's saying is, lift yourself up. Don't buy in to any kind of fear construct.
Exactly.
Practice the gratitude. And it's like, when stuff does come up and when it does like hit us, it's like, don't just react and engage in that play. Watch it play out.
Right.
And bring the love and whatever nourishment and whatever medicine that is for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. To not buy into this kind of 3D reality, because this is all a dream, right?
Right. And this is an interesting thing that Alcazar is promising to work with us in this exact way, because he's saying, like, if you can become more identified with your superconsciousness than with your human self, if you can imagine shifting your identification to being like your soul, you can actually become your guide.
Exactly.
So it's very interesting, and he's going to be working with us in that way in 2020. So yeah, bring on the good stuff. That's what I say.
Really. Yeah. Well, and one way you can do that, I guess I'll bring it in here, is something that I shared at the Thanksgiving intensive. Because Saturn, I mean, we've got lots of planets in Capricorn, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. And so Saturn is about taking responsibility. And so a poem or a prayer I learned many years ago from the Course in Miracles is called the Responsibility Prayer. And that does shift your outlook on life. Instead of life happening to you, you start to see where it's happening for you. And so just really quickly, just the prayer is, I am responsible for what I see, which is hard to conceptualize sometimes. But if you think that we all have a paradigm or belief system and we sort for that, then we are responsible for what we see. Two people can be seeing the same thing and we both see it differently. So we are responsible for what I see. I'm responsible for it. I choose the feelings I experience. So no one can really make you mad. You could that's your choice. They could try really hard and give you lots of reasons, but ultimately it's your choice. So I decided, I decided upon the goal I would achieve, and everything that seems to happen to me, I ask for and receive as I have asked. And that's a hard one, because you think, well, I didn't ask for this, but if we see that our higher self, which is beautiful because we know that in Stargate work, that our higher self does create things for our highest good. And I think we've all experienced something that seemed like it was just horrible and it happened to us, and oh my gosh, poor me. But then with time, we would look back at that and say, thank goodness that happened. Because otherwise I would have gone on a totally different path. So when we could drop into the responsibility prayer, when something does happen to us, if you can kind of go, but part of me created this.
Yeah.
Then it takes us out of the 3D reality of what's going on, and it puts us into the observer role.
Yeah.
So we move into a different place.
Yeah.
So we're not going to feed that energy. We kind of go, I don't understand why this happened, but a part of me trusts that it's for the highest good.
Yeah.
So that's really, I think that's really important for us, and a great tool for us to use right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, it's like, that's the way to have full cup of gratitude. I love it. That's the way for us to actually have the growth mindset that we need to uplift ourselves.
Exactly.
It's like, it's a choice. You can see everything as a gift, and sometimes it's really hard to see that. And sometimes we need to like nourish ourselves before we can see that. But
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of this Rumi poem called The Guest House.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
like
that
such
one.
a beautiful one. It's
It
like
is.
just being human as a guest house. And just to paraphrase, Rumi's saying, like, there are these arrivals, like a meanness or an anger or like a sadness. And he says, greet each guest laughing at the door and like welcome them in, because they're a guide from the beyond.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. That's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, right. I know. I need to memorize the whole thing because it's just so beautiful. But,
It is. Yeah.
So, do you want to take us into some astrology?
Yeah. Or I was wondering if we wanted to raise the vibration and bring in activate the Stargate.
Okay, sure.
What do you think?
I mean, we could wait to do that until we do the meditation and keep it concise. But since you mentioned it, let's do it. So everyone, because why not, right? Let's set a field so that when we talk about the specific astrology, we can tune in with our intuition. Yeah, in a deeper way. So just invite everyone who's like tuning into this broadcast to close your eyes. Take a moment for yourself. Connect with your center. Connect with this moment. And just ask inside for an etheric stargate to come to you. And you don't need to know exactly what the stargate looks like. You can just imagine a pyramid if you wish. Just asking for the consciousness of the stargate to form around you. Because the physical structure is an anchor for the consciousness, and this higher dimensional consciousness is what creates the energy field. And so we call for an etheric stargate.
We call for the presence of an etheric stargate.
And we ask our stargates to activate.
And we call for the activation of all the stargates around the world.
And your stargate gently starting to build a field around you. And we're going to raise the vibration, but we're just going to jump to the 12th dimensional frequency. So you're asking your stargate to vibrate at a higher frequency. And so each one of us asking inside for a strong 12th dimensional energy field.
We call for a strong 12th dimensional energy field.
And your Stargate is gently radiating this high frequency. And all you have to do is relax. Nothing to do, as Alcazar says. And your own vibration, your own frequency is gently harmonizing with the 12th dimensional frequencies. And so we're going to invite you just to stay in this gentle energy field and allow yourself to be in connection, in contact with your inner self as we move into this exploration of the 2020 astrology, what's happening with the stars, the planets. Okay.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Okay. What's happening astrologically, the big event that we've been talking about and that's been building for several years now is the conjunction, which means the coming together of Saturn and Pluto. And they haven't come together in Capricorn since 1518. So it's been a long time since we've had this conjunction. Now, Saturn and Pluto, Saturn is about structure, government, rules, authority, focus, constriction, all those kinds of things. And Pluto is about transformation or changing things. It's kind of like the whole structure of things is needing to break down in order for the phoenix to rise. So what we're seeing, what we're witnessing in our world is a lot of that going on around the world, not just in America, but we're seeing the breakdown of the old ways so that change can happen. And just as we're seeing it, this outside of ourselves, we're also experiencing it inside of ourselves. Because one of the phrases with astrology is as above, so below, as within, so without. And so by us changing our inner dialogue and our inner energy field, we affect what's going on outside of us, because that's a reflection of us. And so that's where I think that we're seeing this extreme chaos, extreme resistance is a really good word, because as we resist, we build more and more chaos or destruction. If we accept and surrender, the glyph for Pluto, for those of you who are not astrology buffs, is a little round thing like this, and it's got two things that go up like this. And I always tell my clients, it's like, that's a clue, because it's about surrender and trusting. And it just brings me to the phrase that we learned from the Stargate several years ago, is trust and allow.
Yeah.
And that is so powerful, because the more you resist, the harder the lesson has to be. And my philosophy of the planets is that they're conscious. And we've had confirmation from Alcazar that the planets are conscious. And I believe they want the very best for us. That they're like great uncles, and the priest or the ministers, or they're like those people outside of us who really want us to be the best we can be. And so that's where when things happen, when we can accept it and trust that there's a reason for it, and to look into it and see what is the message. So that's, I think, with astrology, we can see, okay, Saturn, authority, keeping things the same, is being challenged by Pluto, which is about, things have to change. We're a species that's evolving.
Mhm.
And so coming in and evolving to a different level, really, literally, because we're moving from third dimension to fourth dimension to fifth dimension, from the survival mentality of the survival energy of I'm separate and it's about me, to the collective or the oneness, and this is where gratitude and love that's been coming through the Stargate so much lately is really the glue, or the material that holds us all together. And when we all know that we're happier when we're serving, or happier when we're doing something for somebody else, that gets multiplied and multiplied and multiplied. So, and in addition to the Saturn Pluto conjunction, we also have Jupiter has also moved into Capricorn, and Jupiter expands everything. It exaggerates things. It makes things bigger. It also brings, depending on the mindset, it also brings an optimism, or that how can we do this in the most graceful fashion.
Wow.
So, but it exaggerates wherever the mindset is, or wherever the energy is. So that's why it's so important to not feed the fear. To watch the news and not go, oh my gosh, this is just horrible, blah, 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 which is hard not to do. Every day there's some new thing to get upset about, but to kind of go into this place of, just send it love. I noticed earlier somebody had asked about what we can do for Australia and the horrendous fires and things that are going on there. And it's hard to understand the purpose of that. Why is that happening? But instead of adding to the despair and the fear and the oh my gosh, to hold it in a space of love, just to pray that, that people are safe and that things can happen in the highest way.
Yeah, absolutely. And something actually just came in about that. A woman from Australia actually wrote in yesterday, and she said, you talk about the brush fires. And I said, this is Alcazar's perspective. He's saying like these things that are going to be happening on the planet, and we're about to send a channeling out. And after she listened to the channeling, she wrote back, and she was so grateful and excited because of what Alcazar said about the Galactic Command contacting the governments, the major governments of the Earth, and saying, we have these technologies to help you clean your planet. We have these technologies to help you thrive on every level, and we'll give them to you if and only if you use your armed forces for humanitarian purposes rather than for war.
Right.
And she said that just a few days ago, the Prime Minister of Australia started to send in the armed forces to help with the evacuations for the fire. She was like, I think Alcazar's been working with our government.
Yes. That's exactly what's happening. It doesn't happen in the way we understand it, because what's happening now and what's going on in the change is beyond our level of reference. We have no frame of reference because it's never happened before. And so beside the Saturn Pluto conjunction and the Jupiter in Capricorn and all these planets in Capricorn, we also have Uranus in Earth in Taurus. And on the day of the conjunction, it's actually on the ascendant for us in Northern California.
Okay.
So that means that, it's about looking at the Earth and looking at it from a different place. I won't go into all astrology of it, but it's also, we also have Neptune, and Neptune is trining all of these with massive amounts of Capricorn energy. and Neptune is about spirit.
Mm.
And so it's like, it's kind of, again, going to the surrender piece, just dropping into this place of, I don't understand why this is happening, but I have to trust that there's some higher purpose. So, yeah. So it's just uncanny how this whole year, astrologically, the planets are lining up in very unusual ways, kind of really obvious ways that we're in for change. And the more that we do have control as to how we personally experience it by how we handle the energy. So, yeah.
It's a year for deep transformation, and we're being supported.
Huge.
We're being supported in just like you were saying when we were talking earlier, like it's like really it's showtime.
Yeah.
And Alcazar is saying we're on this leading edge of the Stargate work. And everyone who's drawn to the Stargate is actually on the leading edge of consciousness. So it's like, really, we have been honing our ability to access those spaces of holding the vibration of spirit. And so we can actually create that space, and that can be an act of service.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Because so many people have been asking for several years now, what is my purpose?
Yeah.
Why am I here? Because I think everybody on this webinar came into this lifetime feeling that they have a reason to be here. There's something we came to do.
Yeah.
And somebody said it's showtime, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time that we came for.
Yeah.
And it can be to being called out to do something physical, but it's also the most important thing for us to be doing right now is to do our own work to transmute the victim energy or to let go of that lower vibration to move to a higher frequency. And it can be we may just be asked to hold that frequency. And in that alone, we make a difference. Because it's kind of like going back to the Carolyn Meese piece about that truth is light, and a candle can be seen for a long way.
Yes.
Just one single candle, and now we're being asked to bring our candles together to form bonfires of this higher frequency.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
There's a really beautiful quote by a Nobel Prize winning physicist. And he studied complex systems. And the quote is, small pockets of coherence have the ability to make an impact on the whole system. So just even, a small pocket of people holding a coherent energy field, like we can't really know what impact we're making. But according to Alcazar, that doesn't end with us. It creates an availability to those spaces in the morphic field.
Exactly. And several years ago at a Science and Consciousness conference, a doctor, he was a physicist, Dr. Hagelin, said that it only takes the square root of 1%. I just thought, yes, because you can get so discouraged. You watch the news and you think, oh my gosh, I'm here. I'm the only weirdo or whatever, thinking that things are that things could be better. But the square root of 1% is not a lot. And that's, I think, Alcazar referenced this in the recent piece, that if enough of us hold the higher frequency, and I think that's a natural frequency. I think when we take a body, we start our little story and we start to do the victim stuff. Yeah. And so it just gets lower vibrations. We carry lower vibrations in the shame, blame, guilt game, and as we let go of those frequencies, we start to buoy up to the love vibration. And that's why we came, I think. And I do think that I think we're past the tipping point, but I do think that there's way more people who are holding this higher vibration. We don't make the news, you
Yeah.
know? So it's kind of like nature's always seeking balance. And so you see the chaos of the darkness, you call it darkness, going on. Well, just imagine how much light is balancing on the other side, you
Yeah.
know? And it's a breaking down of the patriarchy. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we're seeing the very last of it, and it's like desperate holding on. I mean, we're just seeing the primal way it's happening now, because it's ending, you
Yeah.
know, and the rising of the feminine, not in a feminine that we're going to be superior, but an equalization of the masculine and feminine energies is what's going on.
Yeah.
And so for each of us, I think that as we do our own work, we'll be guided to our next step, you know, what that might be. And this is another place where it's like, watch for synchronicities, you know, pay attention to the little things that happen, and then trust. If you're asked to do something, you know, say yes.
Mm.
I mean, speaking for myself, I've just been really called out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, and that I just like doing this, you know, but it's like, this is not necessarily comfortable for me,
Yeah.
but I trust that I'm being asked to show up for a particular reason. And we're all being asked to do that in our own way.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a perfect segue to mention you've been invited to be one of 12 astrologers on this really big Astrology Hub Summit. And it's about 2020 forecasting. And so we're going to invite all of you, if you want to go deeper into understanding this astrology that's happening, to sign up. It's a free summit. But it's like, how cool is that? And so you're showing up to the unexpected and to what existence is asking of you. So it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah, this is really a big step, because the other people, to me, they're like, you know, big astrologers, and they've got their YouTube channels and everything. And for some reason, I got invited, which just seems really strange to me. But I have to trust, you know, that, because I'm not a predictive astrologer, you know, and anyway, I make up all the things that I'm not. But I have to trust that actually what came through is that I'm supposed to introduce Stargate to the astrological community. So I thought it was kind of interesting that you had asked me to introduce astrology to the Stargate community. So yeah, so this is all very much out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But I'm just having to trust that, you know,
Yeah. It's
Spirit's
just
got my
showing up.
back.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I sometimes think about something I heard Brene Brown say, and she studies authenticity and shame. And she says when she feels nervous for a social situation, she tells herself, just show up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't puff up. Don't shrink down. Just show up.
Right.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like to show up in a way that, I mean, before I work with a client or do anything, even before I did this, I always just ask for me to get out of the way, let the highest good come through.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a lot of pressure off of me having to have all the answers and everything, and just to be in the moment and go with the flow and trust that spirit has my back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So speaking of spirit,
Mm-hmm.
we have a special guest who's going to show up for this webinar, and you all know this this person. He's sitting next to me right now. So we're going to invite Prageet to come on and scoot over, and I'm going to make us widescreen. So we're going to get Mr. Alcazar to come on through and give us a message right now.
So thank you, Linda. It's been really wonderful listening to your perspectives.
Oh, thank you.
And I want to start just by saying I got several actually messages from a woman this morning who was upset by the message that I and Alcazar had put out to our community.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying that I should be focusing on the positive and that I shouldn't be talking about all the negative things. And as you've been saying, it's time for change. And if we know that change is about to happen, then we can be ready for it.
Mhm.
So Alcazar's forecast and the sharing that you're doing is saying, hey, there's going to be chaos in the world. And Alcazar was giving very clear directions about how to rise above it.
Yeah.
So just to give a simple example, we live here in the mountains. And so we check the weather forecast so that if there's going to be heavy snow, we're prepared. If we have to drive, we make sure we have water and food and a blanket just in case. And so there's no difference about saying, hey, there's going to be rapid change.
Mhm.
Rapid change is creating chaos in the old structure,
Mhm.
but it's creating coherence in the new.
Hmm.
So I'm feeling Alcazar coming
Mhm.
through. So I'm just getting over a cold, so excuse me. Beloved ones, we greet thee, 'tis Alcazar. And we are honored to be with this one, Linda, and her perspective, her understanding. Astrology is a culmination of thousands and thousands of years of understanding. And some of this understanding was given in your distant past to humanity from those beyond your world. So, let us say this. As you have already heard, your astrology, the lining up of support from beyond your earth, is creating an accelerated change. And as Prageet has already said, it is going to create chaos in the breaking down of old structures that are no longer serving you. You will start to see, in fact, you have been in this past year, seeing things which have always been occurring, which are not of the highest. And they are being revealed and people are shocked. Oh, this is terrible, but it has always been. It is a bringing into the light, into awareness, the reality that your earth has been living in. Now, beloved ones, in this your coming year, there will be more awareness, more breaking down of these old structures. And this is beautiful because they will be rebuilt in a more loving, more aware, a more caring way. So, this is going to lead to political chaos, chaos in the business area, people losing jobs, and so on. So let us say this. Our intention is to assist you in your life, you as an individual. Our intention is to assist you raising above the chaos. We have given detailed explanations and experiences in the last intensive, where we were saying it is time to focus on deep appreciation. We will mention it briefly here, and you can research it yourselves later. Deep appreciation is a vibration. And as we have said many times before, your vibration radiates into the quantum field and acts as a magnet to bring experiences to you. And so if you are vibrating in anger and frustration, then that attracts more situations for you to feel angry and frustrated. If you are feeling generous and abundant and loving, then it starts to create in your life more experiences of feeling abundance and being able to share in a very beautiful, loving way. The vibration of deep gratitude creates an energy field that you radiate that allows that which we call your superconsciousness, that conscious awareness beyond the human mind. It allows your superconsciousness to implant, so to speak, to start to bring to you in your life things beyond your normal ability to imagine. Support is available for you. The deep, deep gratitude is the way to access support beyond how you think it might come to you. Beloved ones, do not be concerned about what you see in your newspapers, what you watch on your television, so-called news. They focus on the negative. Disconnect from all that input. You can be aware of world situations, but do not get involved. Do not get into judgment of the politics or the various things that are happening. Just observe, but maintain your distance. Do not be brought down. Actually start to consciously create an energy of gratitude in your life daily, because this will create for you in your life situation ways of supporting you, ways of making you feel good, helping you feel everything is okay. Beloveds, it is time to take responsibility for what you are creating in your life. You can do this with these energies of deep gratitude. It takes intention. It takes practice. When you have that ability to simply call forth that vibration, you can change a downward spiral. You can change a depression or upset or anger or frustration. You can change that energy within yourself almost instantly by calling forth deep gratitude. It is a beautiful way of turning your energy around back into a harmony, a coherence, a level above the chaos in the world. The chaos is beautiful. It is a transition. It is our intention as we work with the Stargate community, not only just to assist you in surviving throughout these times. We are going to create an energy field in your Slovenia, which will assist in the transformation of your planet. We are calling forth all those who are ready. We are going to create an energetic in that place that will shift those individuals into a whole new level of creativity, freedom, and abundance. That energy will move out around your earth. Beloved ones, between now and your Slovenia, we will be bringing you different experiences, different information to support you. And this beautiful talk from Linda is giving you an astrological perspective to know that this is not an accident. This is something which Earth has been prepared for. And these words are to assist you preparing. We love you and we bless you. We honor each and every one of you. And we celebrate the changes that are occurring here on your earth and here within each and every one of you. Good day.
I'm so grateful for Alcazar.
Me too. And for Geet.
And for Geet,
And
yes.
Julianne.
Yeah. Thank you, Preet. So we're going to move into meditation. And as we often do, we're going to turn our camera off for this one. I'm going to share a picture in a moment. And in this meditation, we're going to be harmonizing with the stars. We're going to be bringing in that vibration that Alcazar is inviting us to bring in, the vibration of focusing on uplifting ourselves. So you all ready? So Linda and I are actually gonna guide this meditation. So I'm gonna share this picture and then we will turn our cameras off. Okay. And I actually have a meditation music link that I'm going to drop in for those of you who are on Crowdcast. If you're on Facebook, I shared that in a post this morning on the Stargate Experience Facebook page and also on the Academy group. So go ahead and click that link. As always, the music is you can control your own volume at the very bottom of that page that opens in a new window. If you are on an iPhone, unfortunately, you can't open two windows at once. So you just have to choose us instead of the music. Okay. So just take a moment to go inside. Close your eyes. And so, beloved ones, we are with you always, in all ways. We invite you in these times of change to make a commitment here and now to your own self, making a commitment to loving self, to uplifting self, to using every opportunity for the purposes of transformation, that which could be described as alchemy, the symbolism of turning the base metal into gold. In these times of acceleration, what you focus on is of utmost importance. We invite you always, as much as possible, focus on self. Do not react, respond, and use everything as an opportunity to transmute into a higher level of beingness. The Stargate energies are here to support you. Your own guidance through your intuition, that which you call your superconsciousness, can guide you through these times. With gratitude, you open the doorway to receiving this guidance deeply, and as we have said, in ways that you cannot yet imagine. It is as if by focusing on gratitude, you shift your trajectory through space and time. You shift synchronicity's response, and the universe can bring you to a more harmonious pathway. And yet, harmony is not always what your superconsciousness brings. And so, understand deeply that which this one, Linda, has expressed. What is happening for your highest good. What is happening on the planet is being reflected in what can happen for each of you individually. That is why we bring you this support, this message to focus on yourself and to use everything as a force for transformation. Sometimes awareness is needed to go into the deepest parts of self so that they can be loved, so that they can be understood. And your love and your understanding combine, create the compassion that can transform you. So, let us begin, as we always do with the Stargate work, by inviting each and every one of you to connect to the energy of the earth. And so just asking inside for the earth's energies to come up into your body and into your energy field.
Call for the energy of the earth.
Very good. And just allowing for the possibility that just with the asking, the earth can respond to you. And indeed, your Gaia is bringing an energetic to each one of you. Do not be concerned if you are not feeling the energies yet. They will be building gently throughout this meditation. And so simply allowing the earth to connect with you. And now asking inside for your etheric stargate to come to you. And so just re-energizing your stargate, inviting the consciousness of the stargate to form around you and visualizing, feeling this structure. And now asking inside for the activation of your etheric stargate.
We call for the activation of the stargates.
And all the etheric stargates beginning to generate a soft, gentle energy field right now. And we will move quite rapidly through your dimensional levels. And so already we are raising the vibration of all the etheric stargates. And as the vibration rises, we are moving through your fifth dimensional reality into your sixth, continuing to vibrate faster and faster and merging into the seventh dimension, where we will pause for just a few moments. And so each one of you asking inside for a strong seventh dimensional energy field.
We call for a strong seventh dimensional energy field.
And your etheric stargate radiating this higher frequency to you. Nothing to do. Taking a few moments to simply relax as your energy rises, harmonizing once again with this higher frequency. Beloved ones, elevating your perspective can be as simple as creating a higher vibrational field and inviting your intuition, your superconsciousness, your inner self to speak to you. It is important to be there for all aspects of your human experience. And so we invite you just to give yourself an internal hug right now, as if you could scoop up all the parts of your experience and say, I love you. I accept you just as you are. I love you. And just noticing the resistant parts if they are there and saying, you are okay too. I love you also. Just allowing self to be exactly as you are, as we continue to elevate the vibration in all the etheric stargates. And so once again, accelerating the frequencies, and we are vibrating the stargates, the energy fields, moving through your 8th dimensional frequencies into the 9th, continuing to vibrate faster through your 10th dimensional reality, now merging through your 11th dimension and vibrating quite rapidly as we reach the 12th dimensional frequencies once again. And so we ask each one of you once again just to ask inside with feeling for a strong 12th dimensional energy field.
We call for a strong 12th dimensional energy field.
And again, all the etheric stargates gently radiating this energetic field. And we remind you that your etheric stargate is connected to the stargate grid. All the stargates entangled on a quantum level. And so we are creating a bubble of higher consciousness. As you meditate, perhaps you can shift your focus into the quantum field, just with the intention. And know that you are connected as one with many hundreds around your earth who are all choosing to bask, to bathe, to embody the highest vibration possible right now. And this choice is effortless. There is nothing to do. As you simply relax into this 12th dimensional energy field, your own vibration rises. And you become far more sensitive to the guides and the light beings in the other dimensional realities who are here to assist. And so let us invite them, starting with the ones known as the angelic realm. And so we ask each one of you now to ask inside for the presence of the angels.
We call for the presence of the angels.
And feel. Here they come. The angels bringing their presence to you. Just noticing the shift in the energy field as the angels vibrate you. You can feel them because their vibration touches your energy field. And as your energy field vibrates, it is actually vibrating you on a cellular level. It is awakening that which we call your multidimensional DNA. It is within this higher dimensional DNA that the truth of who you truly are is contained. And so there is the possibility of effortlessly coming into contact with your own superconsciousness within these energy fields. And so we are going to ask you to invite your own higher self to be with you right now. Just the invitation is all that is needed. And so asking inside, we call for the presence of our own higher selves, our superconsciousness, our higher wisdom, our soul's essence. And just feel the energy that is coming to you right now. This is the energy of your beingness, saying, I too am here for you. Very good. And now we invite all of the ascended masters, for these are beings who have, through their own efforts, their own meditations, become enlightened. And even though many of them are no longer physically on your earth, they have walked your earth, they know what it is to be human, and they are still available to assist in your ascension process. And so we ask each one of you again just to ask inside for all the ascended masters.
We call for the presence of the ascended masters.
And again, just feel. A layering of many enlightened beings, many enlightened energetics coming to you right now. If you wish, you can invite the ascended masters to come closer. You can invite a particular guide who you would like to contact to step forward. You are guiding your experience here. Beautiful. And so let us connect now to the stars. There are enlightened civilizations from around your universe who are watching what is happening on your earth. They are waiting to see the blossoming forth. Because we have said before, and we will say again, you are on a trajectory of enlightenment as an entire planetary civilization. You are in the intense restructuring. And this is indeed, as this one Julianne has said, a medicine for your earth. And we invite each one of you to hold this vision, to dream of what it will feel like, what it will be like when each of you in these human body forms start to access the higher wisdom, the knowledge that you have in your Akashic records from the stars. For each one of you have lived lives on other planetary civilizations before you became human. You have an archive, a living library, as this one Barbara Masiniak calls it. There is such a vast wealth of knowledge and wisdom within you. Can you imagine the blossoming forth of all these unique civilizations with individual focuses in their own planetary perspective, starting to come to the earth, starting to be illuminated? This is the potential here. And what will happen on your earth will affect your whole universe. And so we are going to ask you to simply ask inside for all the benevolent star families who are here to support Earth's awakening, to bring their energy to you right now.
We call for the presence of all the benevolent star beings to be here with us now.
And just feel, here they come. The beings from the stars. They hold the resonance of enlightenment and beyond. They come to you in their light bodies. And so just feel their higher vibration encompassing you and relaxing into the field. For we are about to harmonize with the energy, the consciousness of the planets and the stars. And we will ask this one, Linda, to guide us in this process.
So now we'll call in the energy and the presence of the planet Mercury. This is the planet of communication, how we think and how we communicate.
So each one of you asking inside, we call for the conscious energy of Mercury, the planet, and feel the energy that is coming to you.
And now we'll call on the planet Venus, the planet of our values, how we give and receive love.
And again, asking inside, inviting Venus to be with you. We call for the presence of the planet Venus and feel her consciousness.
And now we acknowledge the planet Earth, our home, and we thank her for her grace.
And so asking for the consciousness, the higher self of your Earth, your Gaia, we call for the beingness of planet Earth and feel. Here she comes. Gaia.
And now we call for the presence of the planet Mars, the planet of our will, our
And so
warrior.
beautiful. Asking inside for Mars to bring its energy to you. We call forth the consciousness of Mars and feel.
And next we call on the planet Jupiter, the planet of expansion, optimism, higher truth.
So asking with feeling, we call for the presence of Jupiter. And again, feel the energy of this beautiful planet as it comes to you.
And next we'll call on the planet Saturn, that is very much playing a part in our evolution. So we call on the planet of Saturn, structure, focus, concentration.
And so again, asking inside, calling in the energy presence of Saturn. We call for the consciousness, the energy of Saturn, and feel.
Now we'll call on the planet Uranus, the planet of change, innovation.
And so asking inside, inviting, we call for the presence of Uranus, the energy of this planetary system, and feel the energies of Uranus coming to you.
Now we'll call on the planet Neptune, the planet of spirit, of higher connection to the oneness.
And so asking inside again with intention, we call for the presence of Neptune and feel Neptune.
And finally, we call for the planet Pluto, our soul's guide, the planet of transformation.
Again, asking inside with feeling, we call forth the energy consciousness of the planet Pluto and feel. Feel the energy that is coming to you as you connect with each of these planets. And can you sense they each have their own focus, their own vibration, their own consciousness? This consciousness can be a gift to you. And so we invite this one, Linda, also to deliver whatever messages are wishing to come through her in this now moment.
We thank you for this opportunity to share why the planet will be going through the changes it's going through. And it's all to make the world and humanity a better place. For us all to remember that we are so much more than just these little bodies, and that we are powerful in our ability to make a difference in the outcome of what is before us. We ask that each of you do the work, focus on loving yourself and being grateful. Watch for things to be grateful for, because these energies are so needed and will make such a difference for how this transformation occurs. Remember to connect to all in the unseen realm and ask for help, because we are all here to help as the earth goes through this time of growth. We thank you for your presence, for your willingness, for listening.
And so, beloved one, we thank you for sharing your energy of higher wisdom as it pours forth from your connection to the beyond. You are a gift to each and every one who is hearing these words. You are, each one of you, you are being vibrated by the energy of all the planets in your solar system right now. And there is one more presence wishing to be known, and it is your sun. So we ask each one of you to invite the presence of the sun.
We call for the presence of the sun.
And just feel the radiance. Your sun is connected in ways that your science is beginning to understand, through wormholes to the rest of your universe. And so there are universal energies of support that are radiating through your sun to you.
And we also want to call in the presence of the moon, our mother.
The moon. And so just asking inside, we call for the presence of the moon. And really feel the energy that is coming to you right now.
Feel the nurturance and the love and the support that she offers.
Beautiful. And before this experience comes into completion, The beings from Telos are wishing to join each one of you to bring a harmonizing energy, an energy of higher truth, higher knowingness, the high heart as it is called. And so this inner earth city of Telos is below your Mount Shasta. It is a higher dimensional civilization holding the resonance of Lemuria and the Pleiadians and far more. There are crystals that hold so much vast wealth of knowledge and information. We are inviting you to connect to the energies of Telos by inviting the beings from Telos to come to you wherever you are. And so just asking inside, we call forth the beings from Telos. And now feel, for here they come. And you might even notice it feels as if they're coming up from below. For indeed they bring their presence from this inner earth city. And just allowing a few moments just to be in their energy presence. And in a few moments, they will begin to transmit an energetic designed to align you to the stars, your planets, your solar system, your galaxy, your universe, to align you in a way that allows you to be supported along your individual life's path, to be supported to take the energy of the influences and the consciousness of these planets, to take these energies and use them for your growth, your understanding, the alchemical process of shining light into all facets of your beingness to bring you closer to the oneness. If you would like this assistance, it is important to ask for it because we are not allowed to interfere. So if this is something you would like, just to say yes, please, inside. Very good. And now nothing to do, just relaxing and allowing. And for those of you who have chosen this support, the beings from Talos begin radiating a transmission to align you with higher wisdom, higher knowingness, higher love, and deep gratitude, starting now. And just relax. Just be the witness. Watch as these energies align your energetic field. You do not even have to feel it in order for it to take place. Nothing to do. Just being present, relaxed. And this transmission will continue for a few moments more. And as you bathe in these energetics, as you simply relax and allow, we invite you just to imagine, to image a bubble of oneness forming around your earth through the Stargate grid system. Just a oneness that is created by all those hearing these words whether in the now or on the recording, connecting to the energetic of the quantum field, connecting to the oneness beyond the veil. And the beings from Telos are holding this connection to the one, this connection to the beyond. And we invite you, with your intention, just to ask inside that this bubble of oneness will radiate throughout the morphic field of humanity, just with the intention, nothing to do, making this pathway to peace available so that those who are open to receive it can be touched by an energy of knowingness that everything is perfect, an energy of knowingness that there is a higher purpose, an energy of knowingness that there is a higher self, that there is love in the beyond that can radiate into this construct of your third dimensional reality just with the asking. And the beings from Telos continuing to send this energy of alignment with higher knowingness, alignment with the higher energies of these planets. For as this one Linda has said, each of these planets are here as a friend and as a guide. They are configuring themselves to assist in the transformation of humanity. Yes, this can be turbulent, but no, you do not have to allow self to be pulled in to the chaos. You can disconnect from those external influences. You can use the energy of these planets as an alchemical force for change within you. You can bring the deeper love, the deeper truth, the deeper knowingness, and you can connect to the beyond at any moment of your time. So feel the resonance with your higher self, with your spirit, asking inside once again for your superconsciousness, your higher self to come to you. We call for the presence of our higher selves and just feel. And we invite you to project into your future the ability to reconnect, the knowingness that at any moment you can shift your focus, connect in to these elevating energies and experience a deep sense of the love of oneness. For the love of oneness does not reject any experience. The love of oneness brings a wholeness. And that is true love, beloved ones. So just feel as the beings from Telos are radiating this energetic of oneness. And allow it to touch you deeply. And this transmission coming to a gentle close for each one of you in its own time. Beloved ones, we love thee and we bless thee. We honor you deeply from within, and we invite you to connect to the oneness. We will be here holding the resonance of spirit, higher consciousness, and knowingness for you. And so, connect often to the energies of spirit in this your 2020. We are here to guide you. And we say to you once again, practice gratitude every day. And so just feel your own energy field. Feel the vibration within and around your physical body. You may feel almost as if you have been cleansed from the inside. Not necessary to feel this way, but we bring your attention to the shift in your frequency that you have allowed this day. And we thank you for your contribution to humanity and the process of awakening, of the shift. And so, you are loved. Good day. Okay, so just very gently coming back. And we'll make that meditation available as an MP3 for everyone. So let's rock 2020. Linda, I'm going to turn your camera back on.
Okay.
Okay.
That was beautiful, Julianne.
That was,
Wow.
that's the
Ooh.
first time I've felt the energy of the planets in that way.
I know. And it's interesting because they do all feel different.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all have a different frequency.
Cool. So thank you everybody for joining us. We're getting a lot of hearts and comments and deep gratitude from the Stargate community around the world. And in this year, we're creating ways for us all to stay connected because we do lift each other up. And so just the invitation is stay tuned, stay attuned, and let's go through this together and dream the world into being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't get to the individual parts, but it's you can just, if you don't know your astrology, you can go to a site called astro.com and run your chart. And there are loads of different places you can go to find out about what your chart's about, because we all will experience this in our own unique way.
Yeah. And we'll do a follow-up email for everyone who's participated to give them more information about this opportunity with the astrology forecast marathon that Linda, you're participating in from Astrology Hub. And I'm just gonna pop that link into the crowdcast right now.
Okay.
And you can basically, if people are interested, you can sign up for free and receive a lot of specifics about the astrology of 2020. And Linda's going to be one of the featured speakers.
There'll be 12 astrologers, and so you get 12 different perspectives. And it's a great opportunity
There we go.
to learn more. Yeah. And if you just click on the link, I'm not sure if it'll take you there live.
Click the link and sign up. And
yeah.
And Linda, you were showing me the other day about how the astrology was hitting my specific chart, and that was super cool and helpful. So
Good.
Thank you for that.
Sure. Thank you. My pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll, like I say, it'll affect all of us in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So.
Whew.
Awesome. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you all for tuning in.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And Linda and I are planning to do something like a 2-day weekend workshop together sometime in March. So we'll let everyone in the Stargate community know about that. And I'm so excited to continue to co-create with you, Linda. You're such a gift.
Here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay. Namaste, everybody.
Oh, we'll take a moment before we officially end it so that there's a little lag time. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Much love.